But let's go ahead and move on to who I think the real main villain of Man of Tomorrow is. Because now that we know that Peacemaker Season 2 is going to play a huge factor into the future of the DC Universe, and Salvation is going to be the key storyline they adapt, that leads perfectly into what Lanterns is going to be about. You know, the show's going to be following Jon Stewart and an older Hal Jordan as they go to Earth to investigate the disappearance of a Green Lantern. And since we already know that Guy Gardner is going to be appearing in Lanterns, I think it's safe to assume that he was sent to Salvation along with Peacemaker. And really, any metahuman who has acted against government mandates, like Hawk Girl killing the Baravian president, Mr. Terrific going against everything Lex Luthor was doing, these are your prime candidates to be sent to Salvation. But looking at what Superman has established, where Superman is going, where Peacemaker is going, and then adding into that Lanterns, this is where my brain kind of started spinning. Because we have an almost expired Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler, with Aaron Pierre's Jon Stewart, who is probably his successor. But now here's where things get interesting, and it's leading to who I think the main villain of Man of Tomorrow could be, or a main villain of the Gods and Monsters Phase 1 could be, the Endgame villain. Because we also learned that Ulrich Thompson is going to be in the Lantern series playing Sinestro, a member of the Yellow Lantern Corps. And first off, I'm just excited to see Sinestro make his live-action debut in a limited series that's actually more Earthbound than it is Spacebound, but it's going to have space elements of people flying around. But since we know that metahumans have been around for 300 years, and the fact that Hal Jordan looks long in the tooth, I think the villain of Man of Tomorrow could definitely be Mongul. That yellow bald-headed demon. I know what a lot of y'all are probably thinking because I can read mine. Haha, Sammy. 1. Who's Mongul? 2. Why do you think he's the main villain? And don't worry, I got you. Also, Hakuna Matata. First and foremost, we have to acknowledge that there's multiple different versions of Mongul. There's Mongul, and then he names his son Mongul again, so he's Mongul 2. I'm curious if the DCU will actually go that route, or they'll just have one Mongul. But essentially, he's the ruler of his species. He rules with a Mongol fist on Warworld. Where things get interesting is he was once a member of the Yellow Lanterns, being able to hold multiple yellow rings at once. For of course, he wanted to be the tyrannical ruler that he is naturally born to be, and completely rename it to the Mongol Corps. Sinestro ultimately is able to defeat him. There's also a completely different run where Mongul is defeated by Hal Jordan's Green Lantern, as he's sent away on an intergalactic prison. And since we know that Hal Jordan is already long in the tooth, and the fact that we have Sinestro in this show, I feel like there's a long history between those two characters that we haven't seen yet. I feel like for the DCU's purposes, they probably adapted that Hal Jordan and Sinestro were able to take down Mongul after he infiltrated the Yellow Lanterns, etc. Where he's been locked up, and they are gonna let him out because he's gonna make them let him out. Because in the books, he vows his vengeance against Green Lantern and escapes this prison, but only to find out that Green Lantern is actually Kyle Rayner now. Which, by the way, James, if you need a Kyle Rayner, I'll pick up the phone. I'll shave my beard and everything, whatever I gotta do. Me and him already got the same haircut.
No.
Oh my goodness, Valentine!
No.
Whoa,
No.
That is not the shot!
But I'm not done, because we also got Mon Gal in the Suicide Squad, which we know is canon to James Gunn's DC Universe. And Mon Gal is actually the daughter of Mongul and sister to Mongul 2. I know it gets confusing. It's also funny because she got packed up in the Suicide Squad, so that could also be another reason why he hates these people of Earth. Which I think the DCU could be adapting